From trichomes.com, I'm Jason Kitamura, and this is Tech in Cannabis. I talk with game changers in the tech community to gain valuable insights into the future of the fast-paced cannabis industry. Today, we are joined by Brad Lim-Senesac of WARPSPD.ai. They have taken their AI marketing technology that is currently used by Apple to increase sales in their stores to the cannabis industry. WARPSPD is not only making the cannabis buying experience more engaging with gamification and custom products, but they're making history by developing the first cannabis-friendly digital wallet that can be used to buy products via their daily deals app called Locate. They are making big waves in the industry, and we discuss how it works, how it helps, and how they did it. Okay, and today we are joined by Brad Lim-Senesac, Chief Marketing Officer at WARPSPD.ai. Thanks for coming.
Hey, Jason, how are you?
I'm doing great. So, this is really interesting. Obviously, with the boom in cannabis, there's a lot of marketing tools and stuff out there, but really the only one that I see that has AI attached to it is you guys. I want to just dive right into it and just kind of like try to figure out, what does that mean? What is artificial intelligence in cannabis marketing?
Yeah, so I think the biggest thing to address that would be, it's like you said, there's multiple a multitude out there right now of marketing companies out there. We people always say, "Who's your competition?" And we really hate to say who or what is a competition because we are so different. At the end of the day, while we do similar things, the foundation of what we do is AI learned. So our technology in the retail space, as well as the delivery space and e-commerce space, actually just constantly learns who your customer is, how they buy, what they buy, when they buy, what triggered them to buy, and then how we can then better service them to be a loyal customer. So where most marketing companies are very, I think, at the one foundation in terms of knowing who that customer is, name, address, phone number, birthday. We're going to take not personal information, but we're going to do attributes. And again, like I said, what triggers them to buy, where do they buy, what product do they buy, and then even if you go even more granular, and in the third level is where the AI kicks in, is who is a loyal customer, who is a loyal customer at risk, who is a high value loyal customer. And all of our campaigns are then generated by the AI technology to target those consumers. In case in point, instead of sending out an e-blast of 10,000 emails, and really, saying 30% off, come on down to the store, we're going to send 1,000-person emails, a number of 10,000-person emails, to those consumers targeted, whether they buy flower, whether they buy tincture, whether they buy CBD, whether they buy indica, sativa, and really help and really train and inform and educate the consumer on the products that they're buying. Also, too, they really appreciate the opportunity to get an email or a text blast or any information that they're garnering from their dispensary of choice, whether they favored it or not, and really get information that they want. It's like on Google, when I type something in and I want to get something specific, I'm very specific with my request. I think that's kind of what we're trying to do in the marketing realm here, is really help the consumer garner information that they really want about the product that they buy, find out where they can buy it, and then find out if there's any deals or specials related to that. And as that AI technology constantly learns about that customer, it's going to suggest to the retailer better campaigns to retain them as a loyal customer.
So it sounds like I'm assuming that the longer you kind of utilize the system, the smarter it's going to get. It's going to learn more.
Exactly.
What would you say, I guess, is the
Yeah.
time estimate for the system to actually kind of learn and be able to engage with the right people?
Yeah, I think if you start from scratch with nothing, you're probably looking anywhere between 60 to 90 days. But if you have a database where the system can start learning, we have an open API, so we can take a data dump. Anytime we start with a new customer, we say, where are you with your database? What are you looking at? We'll take, for example, a customer that I used to be the head of marketing for, that is now a customer with us. Is I know that they had a database of 5,500. And one of the things that we do is help capture the consumer and retain their information to better service them. not their personal information, just their attributes and how they buy and what they're buying. And you know, as we did that and we started to garner that information, the system started to learn and learn and learn. And now I think they were, as we said, we started at 5,500. We're now over 55,000 in that database in terms of knowing who they are, what area do they shop in, what store do they shop in with regards to this chain, and they're a multi-state operator. And so being able to better order product, have product on the shelf, convey to the customer the product that's available that they purchase, and then whether or not, we really help the retailer a lot, because it's helping them say, Jason's a 100% trendsetter, and buys right out the door. Well, why would I want to send you a deal? And I think that as we start to market and promote the services a little bit more to the retailer, what we can actually do to help them really service their customers better, I think that attribute really plays heavily into being successful. And again, as the AI has a chance to learn more and more and more and more about the buying patterns, not really the consumer, but more the buying patterns of the consumer. I think that's where you really get that information to really not only help the retailer but also the brands. I think is the next biggest thing, and which would be our next category that I would say is the next big thing for us, which is be helping brands garner more information, data, ROI, and really manage their KPIs.
Yeah, that's interesting. And another thing that I saw that was kind of interesting, because I mean, typically, you use that data just for kind of what you were mentioning with like, deals and what's on sale and things like that. But I also,
Mhm.
just by looking into your company a little bit, I noticed that you guys also focused a lot on just consumer engagement rather than only sales. Um, so I see you have things all the way from like gamification and things that are happening in store, like kiosks and things like that kind of interact with the customer. I mean, I guess expand on that. I mean, how many different ways are you kind of engaging the customer with your system?
Sure. So, one of the things that we started to look at about 3.5 years ago, when you have a team here of retail executives. We have folks from Restoration Hardware, Mervyn's, IBM, Infosys. We have a really big, heavily retail oriented executive team. I have plus 25 plus years in marketing, but 13 of those years in cannabis. I started back in 2008 with Berkeley Patients Group. And so one of the things we did was, hey, let's just not take something and create it for cannabis and just say, hey, we fixed all here. We're going to make you win. We actually took a year and went to the farmer, went to the manufacturer, went to the distributor, the consumer, the bud tender, the brands. What are the major problems in cannabis, and what can we do to create something or design something that might stimulate it, and better help solve a problem? Well, one of the biggest things in cannabis, as we all know, and of course is kind of working its way out of the system, is cash. There's a huge problem in cash, and so one of the things that we wanted to do was digitize that consumer experience, and utilize an opportunity to try and drive deals and specials. So as you saw the kiosks. Those are for gamification. We've got 7 games where we gamify the deals and specials. You could walk into any dispensary in downtown LA, and they're in upwards of 10, 15, 20 deals. Well, if there's 6 or 8 to 10 cash wraps, now you've got that many pieces of paper or that many bud tenders trying to remember all those specials and deals. With our technology, you could put it up on an iPad, or on their iPhone when they walk into the store, or have it on a screen that's right there, and readily approachable while they're waiting in line, or that they'll just automatically know to come up to and look and see what the deals of the day are. So that would be one component. And then processing, uh, having ACH. We've been working for over a year to create a wallet for cannabis, with ACH being able to fund it from your bank account, pay over time, Bitcoin, and then of course once legalization happens with regards to debit and credit card, we would add those components in there as well. But having that wallet available, which helps then also bring the cash out of there. So now we're digitizing the deals, we're helping get rid of cash, Now we're going to segment those customers with our AI technology. We're going to segment them out and really figure out what kind of customer they are and how they buy and what they buy, what triggers them to buy, and then of course retarget them with our email and marketing campaigns. Um, and at the very crux of that, it's truly the consumer and really making them a loyal customer. And how can we make them a loyal customer? It's really truly by obtaining that information and giving the customer what they want. If I'm a 100% edibles customer based on my information that they're pulling and the data that they're pulling, I'm basically a gummy customer. I'm not even an edible customer. I'm a gummy customer. So sending me deals and specials on flour, sending me deals and specials on shatter, all of those things that the store has and carries, I'm just not interested in it. I don't have a way to consume it. I like things that are simple and easy. I like things that can be in my backpack. I like things that are available for travel. And so really helping the not only the brand, not only the retailer, not only the delivery, but also the consumer shop better for products, become more informed. And so we always keep saying we're trying to digitize that consumer experience to give them a better experience and then retain them as a loyal customer.
Yeah, now obviously with everybody having their phone attached to them, essentially, the engagement with the brand can happen in so many ways. And, especially with, everything digitized, everybody's all about gamification and, trying to get people to see the brand over and over again. I mean, like, just
Yeah,
from
yeah.
your experience, having the consumer engage with the dispensary or the brand, I mean, how much more business do you see generated out of something like that? Just, estimate what type of percents are we looking at?
So we have those stats. Actually, I'll give you an extreme. We actually started in a dispensary, which is a multi-state operator. We saw an increase in sales of upwards of 40%. But of course, that'll dwindle with time. But it's because when you're doing nothing and you start doing something, you're going to see a huge change, whether it be a positive or a negative change, right? And so we saw a huge uptick in sales. It's now leveled off, so we're probably upwards of about 28% now. But I do like to mention that 40% because when you do go into a store that may not be doing anything, any sort of lead capture or any retargeting or marketing or anything like that, anytime you implement anything into the system, you're going to see a major uptick in business, whether it be in sales, whether it be in traffic, and so we wanted to and look at a longer term scenario. So I think right now we're upwards of 28% on revenue increase, 19% on return traffic, and 13% on loyalty. So great numbers with regards to what the tech is doing, and this is just strictly in a pilot. We haven't even gone outside the 20 dispensaries that we have working on the platform. And then, of course, as we had mentioned before, we do have another product that adds to that. So that's all in store. And then WarpSpeed created a product called Locate, LOQ8, available on the Google and Apple stores, which is a deals app. And so it's a geofenced opportunity to geofence around your dispensary, clear out to 20 plus miles, driving traffic on there, doing push notifications. So now you have an opportunity to do direct consumer. Think of that in a market that like Nevada, where you're highly restricted with regards to your advertising and promotions. And now you have something that you can directly market to your consumer and get them. Number one, you're going to know exactly what they want. And now you're going to be able to get it exactly to them. And so we feel that that's a huge positive for us moving forward with Locate, adding that into the arsenal of digitizing that consumer experience. So now we can also take that consumer experience and have it outside the store. Where we can gamify emails and text messages. We can send our gamification that we have in our kiosks in the store to their phones, as you mentioned. Everybody's got their phone, so now we can gamify their phone with deals and specials and engage in the consumer, right? You want to inform them, you're going to train them, you're going to educate them. They're going to be better informed of what products to buy and how to buy them. The brands get an opportunity to now highlight their product, give all the information that they may not see in a store because they're only asking a bud tender about what type of product they should take. Now you're going to be able to see a consumer not really report, but more of a consumer consensus in terms of what the product does, feedback. You're going to have bud tender feedback, and then you're going to have the brand information and product information that's really going to help train and educate the consumer on what products they need to buy for themselves. And we think that's a big component and a huge leap forward for cannabis.
Wow, that's amazing. So now the Locate app, is that primarily for cannabis, or is it for a lot of different retail verticals?
Yeah, so it is 100% for cannabis right now. We actually did test. Actually, our whole system was tested outside the United States, in Asia Pac, Egypt, Dubai. We're in over 300 plus regular retailers outside the U.S. With our testing. At H&M, United Colors of Benetton, The Gap, LG, Apple. We are in 50 corporate Apple stores. And so one of the great things about our technology, and people say, how does it work? And I said, well, we were vetted by Apple. You have to be vetted in Cupertino before you do a non-Apple product in any of the stores. We currently are not helping them sell the iPad or the iPhone or the Mac. They do a very good job of that. What we're helping them do is, which is a weakness that they have, is helping them sell the accessories. So we retarget all new purchases after the fact with retargeting and segmentation for upsales to bring the consumer back into the store, or whether it be online. Currently, we're at about 5.9% uptick in sales for Apple on their accessories. So that's a huge number. If people are unaware of retail, that's a very big number in regular retail itself, but a huge number for Apple. And so we've got some expansions happening outside the U.S., but inside the U.S., we felt not that it's low hanging fruit. We just felt that there's a market that really needed something and some support. And I was actually they reached out to me to consult on an opportunity, and I said, really marketing, into the cannabis space is still lacking in terms of rules and restrictions and regulations. And so we want to try and do the best that we can do to help the consumer get the information they need, and then also the retailer get the information to the consumer, and to make a better purchase and in a more educated purchase. And I think that's the biggest thing is people are kind of going in blind to some of the stores in terms of the products they're buying because they just don't know, right? We know what Coca-Cola is, we know what Pepsi is, we know what Mountain Dew is. We don't know what cannabis is as of yet. And so we hope that having a platform like we have, whether it be in the store or in the email and text messages or in the Locate app, is going to be able to better, I think, better inform and better train the consumer to help them buy the products.
Gotcha. Well, just for all the brands and dispensary owners and operators that are listening, pretty huge changes in results. Plus, if it's good enough for Apple, I'm thinking it's probably good enough for you guys. So that's that's
You're
pretty
right.
awesome.
I always hate to say that because it goes over like a lead balloon. But if it is good for Apple, it is pretty good for cannabis. So if we can sell apples, we can sell cannabis, right?
Pretty much. Well, I mean, just to go back to the actual app itself, to kind of wrap my head around how it works. So essentially, it's a geofenced app that basically by location is going to serve you different opportunities and gamification products and things like that. So for example, if I were to just drive through an area with one of your dispensers that are onboarded onto Locate, I can get a notification through the Locate app that shows, their deal or something to engage them. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah, and they can set that parameter. They can have it up to 100 feet. They could have it to up to 20 miles or more. Or we could actually we can manually draw their demographic into there. Which is, we do that a lot with dispensary with deliveries because they don't have the brick and mortar and they don't have an address. So we try and find a city center to work with on the delivery side, and then target around that area for them. And then yes, so anytime that I would have the app and I would drive into that area, and let's just say Harborside in Oakland, and I have the app in Harborside, so I'm gonna whatever deals are available in that area, and I get inside that field, that geo-targeted field, it's gonna say, hey, here are your deals available at Harborside today. The other great thing that it does is, as I walk into that store, it says "Welcome to Harborside," and as a reminder, it'll actually list all the deals that are available in that store currently.
That's great because
Yeah.
obviously a big marketing tool for a lot of cannabis companies is billboards. Sometimes you drive on freeways
Right.
and every other billboard is a cannabis ad. So, but that's limited real estate. So essentially, they can get kind of the same experience by utilizing this app.
Right, and look, it's in an app, right? It's another thing on your phone. It's another thing to have, but there is no way to shop for cannabis right now. There is no way to. I mean, like to just go on your phone and look through. I mean, you have to go to everyone's website. You have to go on to everyone's e-commerce map. You have to go into Weed Maps and search and find, and you can type in a product name, and but. It's all non-actionable now with our wallet. So, big news for us as being a fintech company and having a cannabis deals app, and on top of that, now having a wallet in the app, which will go live here in the next week to 10 days. You can actually buy that product. And then you go into the store and you show them the QR code or a barcode that you get sent back via email or text, and that way you bought the product. The thought in that is that we can start doing exclusive deals and specials for different brands. Um, now you've got your more curated farmers with less product being able to hit the market. Let's just say, you've got 50 jars, 58th jars at, $100 a jar, and you want to launch that in specific markets. You can actually put that into our deals and specials on our, into our system, limit the number that you are allowed to sell per store. And once it's sold out, then it's sold out. So kind of something similar to the idea that Sneaker has with Nike,
Right.
where they're doing product launches and drops. As I missed one this morning, and it's interesting because it's almost like a game itself, right? As a product launches, like you want to get in line and win the product, right? And so it keeps them engaged. Our family, we're sneakerheads, and so we like Nike. I was actually a Nike with Nike for several years, and so it's nice to stay gamified with that. And so that's what I like about it is that you're constantly. I'm probably on the Nike app 4 or 5 minutes after the fact, after I've either missed out because I'm like, oh, what else is up, available. Like, so it does keep you engaged as a consumer. It keeps you aware. And so that's kind of what we're doing for cannabis too. We're currently working on a pilot with Dosis right now, bringing on, Hella Dank. Hella Dank a little bit. They're bringing in some exclusive opportunities with some products, and they're going to start doing that with us. The great thing about this is you can do it on the back end as well, as you have some aging product. The biggest thing in cannabis right now is you have to destroy that product. It cannot go to market. You cannot give it away. You have to destroy it. And so we feel that we can help them on the exclusive side for the launches, as well as the back end for that aging out product, and really let the retailer kind of manage that in between, right? And so, if I like Coke and I know that I buy Coke at Gelson's and they always have Coke, they really need to market that to me, right? But they need to market that they have steak on sale or bread that's on sale or there's something in the bank. Those are the things it's the staples that you don't really have, you go to the store to get, but then the deals and specials are what you want. And so we don't want to be those staples. We want to be that higher end deals, those exclusive deals and exclusive opportunities, and also on the life cycle of the product at the back end, and help the brands really push that product out the door so that they're not losing any money and losing any traction with their products.
Wow, that's really big. I mean, the in-app payment portion. I mean, how many other companies have that? Would you say right now?
Zero.
Exactly. Yeah,
Zero.
that's a big.
It was a long haul. It was an arduous task. We have some customers who are like, "How did you do that? And can you do it for us?" And it's like, yeah, no, you can just use ours.
Right. Yeah, that is a big step as far as yeah, for
Yeah.
cannabis. Now was the demand? I mean, I'm assuming you can use it for a lot of different opportunities. But was the desire to create something like this have to do with the pandemic? Because I know distance payments and things like that are a big deal for you can use this for like an in-store pickup or things like that. Was that kind of the
Right.
motivation, or was it just to get any kind of a fintech product out there?
Well, so funny story was that as March 13th hit last year, and I was told to go. Our office is actually in Pleasanton, California. We have a sales and marketing office down in Los Angeles, which is where I live. I was sent home on the 13th. Said, "Go home. You might not get home." And as the weeks prevailed, and rioting and COVID and things that started to happen, we did get an outreach from delivery companies. Um, because cannabis was deemed essential, and so now we've got people delivering to the home, and even including curbside pickup. So we actually got fairly quickly into it. We created distance pay, which has evolved into our wallet. But we had B2B pay, distance pay, curbside pickup, and of course now the wallet. And so that has all made a major factor because of COVID, that we expedited some of those into our roadmap. And because of that, we actually got a lot more folks into our pilot program, which helped us accelerate the product because we had more, more companies on there helping us refine it, make it bigger, better, stronger, faster, in a shorter amount of time. I jokingly say, as a chief marketing officer, you work on a website, it could take a year to 2 years to really develop the website, really get it good. Of course, it's a living, breathing product, so it's always evolving. Well, we did two websites. We did distance pay. We did an app. We did a wallet. We did B2B pay. We did all within 1 year.
It's amazing.
So we have come out swinging for the fences, and where I always say all we need is base hits, we came out swinging for home runs, and uh, and uh, and I think that we're doing a great job of it. And so now it's time to go to market. And so we'll find more strategic partnerships this year. This is the year of the partner for us. We just signed a very grateful deal, a strategic partnership with Blaze, um, one of the big POS companies. I feel one of the top five in the market right now. With regards to a partnership, not just an integration with our services and their POS, but a partnership and going to market together. And so we feel that that's a big positive for us. We've got some great banking partners, and we thought that was very strategic in terms of what we do. So we weren't the norm in terms of going out and calling every single dispensary out there in every state to make this happen. We focused on California so that we could have quick business trips to fix problems and questions and concerns, really address it, sometimes face on, even though in COVID you couldn't. People just still felt like you were closer because you're in California and that you could solve a problem via the telephone with the time zone. So we've made some great strides. Now it's time to take those partnerships and go to market. A lot of our partners that we have are in the cannabis space and have multiple cannabis partners. So we feel that our launch into the marketplace should be a little bit easier than most because of those relationships. And yeah, I think that we'll do good. Plus, partnering with organizations and doing interviews and joining the NCIA and the NACB, and making sure that you're really doing what you need to do. And I always say, you have to fire on all pistons, which just means in marketing you got to do every avenue. You've got to do the Facebook, you've got to do um, TikTok, you've got to do Instagram, you've got to have an email campaign, you got to have a text campaign. Now you got to have MMS, right? Now it wasn't just SMS. Now you have to have MMS. Now you have to have TikTok, and so it's making sure that yeah, maybe they're all not at 100%, but we do have to fire on all of those and get out there. And with that, that's what we have to do for our customers as well, right? In terms of the marketing, we got to make sure that we're providing the same content and opportunities for them as well in that marketplace. So, yeah.
All right. So right now, the Locate app is available in the App Store, correct? Is it both on Android and
Yes, correct.
and then
Yep, yep,
that's LOQ8, correct?
correct.
Okay. So for all you guys wanted to check out the latest deals, go ahead and download that. What's the time frame for the rollout of the wallet?
Yeah, we're probably looking at another week to 10 days. We're finalizing some things with on the banking side. We'll get a couple customers to go do a little bit of a pilot for a week to 10 days here, and then we'll have that up and operational as dispensaries onboard it and utilize it. That'll be a little bit of a chore for us to work on that and get that out into the um, the transactional opportunity that they want, right? And so you know we have ATM machines. Oh, we have this. And, the idea is to again keep that cash out of there. It's a huge expenditure for the dispensaries and for the deliveries. A lot of the deliveries that we talk to that are really trying to expand and go into that next level really don't want that cash. They do see that it's a cost. And we know that you've probably had numerous guests on here, Jason, that talk about how not only is it bad to have cash in the business just because of the theft opportunity, but also too it's a cost. Banks do not like cash. They don't like counting it. I know that there's a business out in the cannabis space right now. It has 7 full-time employees counting cash, and that's It's just astronomical to me to hear numbers like that when, it's, I mean, I've ran businesses in the past, and it all is because we can't take debit and credit cards. But what are the options now? So now we can use the bank accounts. Now we can utilize an ACH opportunity. We're actually going to have Bitcoin and pay over time on the wallet as well.
Wow.
So until debit and credit card go live, we will have other options for folks to be able to purchase. So very exciting.
Now, is the wallet going to be a standalone app, or is it like an app that's tied to each location, or how is that going to work?
So the wallet will be in the Locate app.
In the local itself.
And,
Gotcha.
and so, yeah, it will be in the app. And so, download the app, sign up as a consumer, or you can sign up as a merchant, or you can sign up as a brand, one of those three. And then once you've signed in and registered that way, then it'll prompt you to load your wallet and sign up for the wallet as well. So it'll be a seamless process. It wasn't before, so now we're actually making that happen now. It'll be all a part of the registration process. And then as a dispensary, of course, there's a little bit more to do with it as there wouldn't be as a consumer, right? A consumer, I can just go in there and load all of that, name, address, phone number, and then you can add your bank account. With a bank, we do have to have approval. So we do a lot of KYC on our customers because are they a legal cannabis dispensary? Do they have a business license? We have all those things. So there is some back end stuff that we need to do for a dispensary that we won't need to do with the consumer.
Amazing. Well, Brad, you guys,
A lot of work.
you got your hands full. It seems like. I mean, each one of these things that you're doing requires a whole entire marketing campaign, and you guys are doing a lot.
We actually talked about this like the other day. We were like, we have 4 businesses.
Exactly.
4 major businesses that we could be launching right now, and it's all wrapped into one. So, but that's great, right?
Yeah.
You gotta make life exciting.
So for all the, I guess the brands and businesses that are listening that want to, check you guys out, what's the easiest way that they can get started with Warp?
Yeah, again, Locate's available on both Apple and Google Store at LOQ8, and then reaching out on the website www.warpspeed warpspd.ai. And we're out there. My email, brad@warpspeed.ai.com. AI. I'm pretty much available for anybody to reach out to. We're excited to be out in the marketplace and in cannabis. As things start to open up, we're looking at MJ BizCon. We're across the state. We're starting to travel a little bit more with our customer success team, going into our dispensaries that we have and having those in-person meetings again with safe distance and policies and procedures putting in place. And then also too, even with our gamification as our screens, which the screens are starting to go live again as well, with cleaning schedules put into place and keeping them clean and disinfected and social distancing. So yeah.
Best of luck to you. Thanks for coming on the show. Once again, I want to thank Brad Lim-Senesac for coming on to the show and WARPSPD.ai. And for all your cannabis news and for other podcasts like this one, visit us at www.trichomes.com. If you want to reach out to the show, email us at techandcannabis@trichomes.com. I'm Jason Kitamura, and thanks for joining us today.